Okay, what we're going to have here is this little cube here, which is a trigger, and it's going to load a different scene. So I've moved my player character nice and close to make this testing quicker. So my player can move around, and when it collides with that other object, we switch over to the winner. Now what we'd probably also want to do is actually turn off the mesh renderer for that object, so that it's actually an invisible trigger. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I've got my level, and what I'm going to want to have is when my character gets all the way down to this end, we're going to trigger loading up another level, and I've got another scene called Game Over, which just has some rotating objects on it. So we're going to want to go to this one. So let's actually just make that a little bit nicer. Let's put another 3D, some 3D text. Let's call it winner. And let's orientate those at 0. Let's just get what the camera can see. Looks right there. But we probably want to switch that from upper left to middle center. And let's make that font a bit bigger, maybe about 40. And we'll have it in a green. Okay, probably not the greatest color. There we go, let's do a red. So what we've now got is our little winner scene, which will load. Obviously, this can be any scene that you want it to be as far as the game goes. It could be second level and so on. Now, I'm going to switch back, save that, switch back to my main scene, and I'm going to go to where I want this end trigger to be. So it's around there. I'm just going to now add a 3D cube. Just find out where that is. Okay, we're just going to position that. And so that now I've actually got a little object, so I'm going to attach that as a child of that. Ooh. Why are we still way out? 100, there we go. So we're right in there. Let's just drag that up and back, and we're just going to make that a bit bigger. No, not quite that big. 50 by 2, and let's make it 3 deep. So we've got this nice little trigger, and we can add just some little notes for it. Let's change its name to change level. So we've got this little trigger here. We need to, on the collider, put a tick on that. Now as far as testing this goes, it is a lot easier if we go and move our player all the way actually onto our level, or just right next to it. We don't want it to be overlapping it, but just being nice and close so that we can really quickly carry out some tests. So we'll just have a look at that now. And when we play it, we can sort of see we can move around and move on inside the trigger. Now we need to go and add a script to go and basically detect when our player has hit that character. We're first also going to make sure that our player has the player tag attached to it, which it does, so that's all good. So now back in my scripts folder, I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to call it load level, or I could call it load scene, and I'm going to attach that to the trigger. So we can see now that's on that object that I want to basically use to load the next level. So I'm going to double click on that, and we're going to clear out all these other functions in the middle, and I need to use the Unity Engine scene management package or library, and because I want to make this generic so that I can reuse this class on any different object for a trigger. I'm going to make a public string level public string for level name, and then I need to use the onTrigger enter, which takes a collider object or parameter, and if that collider, whatever it collides with, has the tag player on it, because remember this script is being attached to the trigger, we want to load the different level. And so what we have there is we just tell the scene manager .load scene, and we just give it the level name. Note with here, level name here is written in Pascal case because it is a public variable. So I'm just going to save that, switch back to Unity. Now if I click on this trigger, you can see in our script we've got this space, and I want to tell it to go and load the game over method. Now we're going to check that's in. Yep. Going to run this, and we're going to get some errors. So when we collide, the program has crashed because scene game over couldn't be loaded. That's because we haven't added it to our project. So we're going to go to File, Build Settings, and we're just going to drag in the scenes we want to use. So walk the plank, there's my level, and game over. Whatever the first scene is the one that will load by default when the game is built. But whichever one we've got active here will load, and we can now see we've now won the game. So I can stop that, and I might want to go back and move my player all the way back to that initial starting point. So what can be quite useful is to actually have little empty game objects here for our starting positions. Oh, and our character is actually off the edge. So let's actually go and rectify that. Just move them up a little bit. Maybe across. And back. Now, one other little change that we could make is that we probably would look a little bit nicer if we didn't actually have a big white box as a trigger. So let's just turn off the mesh renderer. So that means the trigger is still there, still using the collider, but we just can't actually see it. So, hope you found that useful, and now you can make games with multiple levels. Remember that you will have problems, so fail upwards.